Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing, coming to you with part 2 of our accordion style folio made with file folders. I watched this over on gal Nora W ****E, and so I would really love it if you would go over and show her some love. Thank her for the video. She did an amazing job. I was able to figure it out, and these things really confound me, so I did have to ask her a question. She was very prompt to answer my question, was super helpful. So I hope that you'll hop on over. I like to give the credit and point people to the channel where I watched it, because I think that that's the most honorable thing to do. I would never take ownership of this, or I didn't think of the idea, so I want you to know that she did. So that's where I watched it. So this is all the ephemera that's going to go in the folio, which we're going to do today. It's already pre-cut and inked just to save time, but let me just show you what the folio looks like. So it opens up like this. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 pockets on the inside, and then a flippy flap. I'll talk about all these numbers here in a moment. And then if you turn it over, you have 4 panels. There's a just panel here. This one will have some pockets from the kit, these diagonal pockets. So this is 2 actually. And then let's just flip. And then so what I did before I started cutting my paper is I measured my panels. So this one and this one is 4 3/8 by 7 7/8. This one is 4 5/16 by 7 7/8. I apologize, I covered this one over with the paper, so I do not recall. So if you want to see, if you want to get a picture of this, you sure can. But basically you're cutting your paper to fit the panel and the folds that you have. So, and I don't rely on, anytime I use envelopes or file folders, I don't like try to replicate, like do one panel and just assume that it is the exact same size as another panel, because that may not be the case. The things are made irregular, so I don't count on that. So on this side, as I mentioned, we've got 4 pockets, 1, 2, 3, 4. These measure 4 3/8, 4 3/8, 4 3/8, and 4 5/16. And then I made notes on all these just so I knew as I was creating ephemera and pockets that I knew what sizes my items needed to be. And then our pockets, other than this one will be a full pocket, a full panel. The paper will go all the way down in there, just because I wanted to make sure that it was really stable, and I believe that's what I did. We will see when I get there. It was a lot of cutting. Now I remember why I don't really like to do file folders. It is a lot of work, but I'll talk to you about that, how I cut them all, in a second. The other smaller pockets, this panel, and this panel, I only made my paper slightly taller than this area to tuck in there. I did have a challenge here because on camera in video 1 we cut this slit, but I must have turned this upside down, and so my slit is way up here and it needed to be down here, and that's because I flipped this. So that was totally my fault, but I made do. So our pocket is a little bit narrower, and I had to do some finagling with the paper that's going to cover this. So but I'll show you that when we get there. So what I did to cut my papers is I basically took a piece of paper, like in this instance, I took a piece of paper, I cut it to the width that it needed to be, and then I stuck it in here and I traced around the curves and cut them out. I did that with all of my curves. So that being said, there's going to be imperfections. I guarantee you. I am a terrible fussy cutter. I do not like to do it, and so it was really trying. Obviously this was easier other than these panels here. And this one, there was a pocket that was going to be strange. I think it was this one, just because it's got the little divot here, so I will only glue, I don't know, I'll have to remember what size ephemera I chose to put in this pocket. But we're going to go ahead and put these together on camera, or put these on, so I just need to take a drink of water. My apologies. So if you watched video 1, I want to apologize, seriously apologize. I was like I don't know, I acted like I was high on something. And I guess I am kind of high on something. I have a lot bubbling around inside of me, all really, really good stuff. I mean, you know, it's got its challenges, but lots of really good things happening. And so I'm just going to like have the little mini conversation here because I kind of was like popcorning all over the place in that video. So I appreciate you guys being patient with me. I'm human. I'm not a pretender. I don't want to be a pretender. So I'm going to apologize because I felt like that was really kind of like off the wall. But I did see my mom for the first time in 29 years last night at the time that I'm making this this project, which this is Saturday, January the 28th. And so I met with her and my older sister, last night for dinner. And I'm really, like, I'm processing it. I'm processing the beauty of it. I'm processing the healed difficulty of it. There's a lot of history there and a lot of really, really hard things, really, really painful things. But I did the healing work, and now I got to a place where I could do that, and it was amazing. So I am refocused, and I am ready to come back and share this process video, or complete this little folio here. So let's go ahead. I'm going to set, this is all the ephemera, and I'll talk about it, the ephemera and pockets for the other side, and then we'll put that together as well. I did mention in video 1 that we were going to put this in after I cut my papers down, because I want to only cut once to make my little wavy line. And I think I still have that ruler out. Yeah. So this is a We Are Memory Keepers wavy ruler, and I thought that would be really easy and fun. But again, I only want to do one cut, and so I'm going to go ahead and set that aside for a moment. And I'm just going to think about how this is going to go. So it's going to go in like that. Right, it's going to go on the back side. Goodness gracious already. So I think I'm going to put it right here, and which doesn't really matter. It could go here as well. It's not that part is not important. But I'm going to go ahead and put. I just want to make sure I have it going in the right direction, I guess is why I'm saying all of that. I'm going to put this piece on the front, and these are the only pieces it looks like I did not ink. How strange is that? So let me do that really quick. Already 7 minutes in, and what have we done? Yakety yakety yak. But again, I come, you know, I come as a human. You know, I have good days, I have bad days, I have spastic days, I have low days, you know, just like the rest of the world. So I hope that you'll forgive me for that, and we will continue to create and learn together. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I don't think I need the ink again. I was pretty good at getting everything inked. So this is going to go on this side just because I don't necessarily want this print really close to that one, because it would be kind of repetitive, or kind of, it wouldn't be distinct, I guess is what I mean. So I need to grab a paper towel for my glue. I like to press my pieces down with paper towel just so I can catch all that oozing glue that we end up having. So I'm just going to set that up there, and we're going to get going here. I'm going to put it on the file folder just because this is 20-pound paper. Oh, the other thing I wanted to show you is everything is marked by its part. So, oh, that was actually going to be side 2, but I'm going to reverse that because I think I changed the direction of my pocket. And we'll also, we won't need to worry about cutting the slit because there's no pockets on the outside. So that's going to be fine. And so this is the Flippy Flappy side 2 wavy ruler. Those are my notes. Those are my ghetto notes, just to keep track of what I'm doing because I easily forget. I'm hoping that you guys can't hear the TV out there. My husband is in the living room. watching TV. We have a very small house, so with very thin walls. So usually everything kind of, the sound really travels. So I'm going to go ahead and place this down. I did cut all my pieces slightly smaller, or with just a little margin of room to kind of grow. Again, there may be imperfections, like right there, we're hanging over. I'm not sure why we're hanging over, but we're just going to trim that off. It's not a big deal. Have a little bit of wiggle room, so I'm gonna just kind of hold this up, make sure it is as straight as it possibly can be. Looks pretty darn good. It looks like we've got some hangover here, so it looks like maybe I had just a wrong measurement entirely on this panel, so there's a little bit of a hangover here. And if I forgot to mention, I am using the 20-pound paper to cover everything, as well as my pockets and things that I'm making, or the paper. I'm using 20-pound paper to cover the pockets that are part of the folio as well. So that is that. Pull this back over, and I just want to make sure that I keep this the way I wanted it to go, and obviously watching the direction there as well. So we're going to put this here, so it's gonna, this is going to butt up to that. So I'm going to go ahead and just put my glue on here. Like so, and which way? Like this. I'm going to turn that just a little bit so I can kind of get myself in here to get it straight-ish. And again, I'm checking my top to bottom, because if we have any overhang, we're going to need to, if we've got any overhang, we need to be able to cut it off the top, because we've got pockets on the bottoms that are part of the file folder fold. So we want to make sure that we don't impact that. So I'm just going to give that a press. That worked out really, really well. I love that. Really, really love it. Need to ink that a little bit because we trimmed it again. Okay, so that's that. So let's go ahead and find panel 3. Where's my rest of my panels for here? What? Is this it? Front? Yep, this is the front because it doesn't have the pockets. So, and I put this one on off camera because I wanted a good thumbnail for my for part 1 of the goodness gracious, what? This is so weird. This is not this one, because this is this one. I've got my front and back mixed up here. Oh, this is this. Okay. I had to recut this one, and it got a little bit wonky on me in terms of my brain. It just was hard for me to track. So I just love these images, though. I think they are really, really cool. So front panel 2. So there we go. That's what we've got going on. So what was this? Front panel 3. Oh, yeah, and then we still have this one here to go here. There we go. We're good now. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this one on. Again, I'm going to go right on the file folder here because it's easier for me to see. I like to really push the edges because that's usually where the glue doesn't quite get, so any of that extra glue can kind of get pressed down and into that area. So I'm just going to look and see. We've got just a tiny bit of overhang. I'm feeling very impressed. Very impressed with myself. Usually it is a lot uglier than this, so I'm going to go ahead and trim that. I mean, I suppose I could wait until I was done and trim all of them. But I'm going to go ahead and do it as we go here. Not too bad. I am not a fussy cutter. Well, actually, I am a fussy cutter. I don't like to do it. And I had wanted this one here because I thought that looked really kind of cool to have it look doubled. So that's why I decided to do that. But let's go ahead and put this one on here. And so this paper is going to cover up that hinge that we created for our extra panel there. I'm going to put it this way because I'd rather have these words not be upside down. Even everything else is sideways. So, but the strawberries upside down, but those ones are not. So, when they do these kind of a collage type of thing, it's kind of hard to be very focused. I mean, you can't be really focused on the direction as much. So, there we go. This is going swimmingly. Looks like I do have a little bit of extra something there. Oh, that's just where that's a bummer, where the hinge is showing here. You see that? But you know what? We can't worry about everything. It's just not worth it. It robs us of all of the fun. And that looks like it wants to rub, so I'm gonna just give that a really good press there and make sure it's nice and set. It looks like maybe it was a little bit too wide, but that's all right. I'm going to go ahead and put this one on as well. So I'm going to look here because I think we're going to have a problem with that. So it feels like it's binding, but it's not hanging over. So I'm not sure what that feeling that I'm getting is about, because it looks like it is okay, but oh my goodness, isn't that wonderful? Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. We can go in and ink more of that to just get rid of that more yellowish bit. So we're going to turn this over and do the other side. Oh, but where's my extra? Oh, this was supposed to be my, that was supposed to be my fun one. I was supposed to cut it. Let's see if we want to do that. Do you think I can do it, guys? I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. I'm just going to try to get this like sort of the same distance from the, so that the waves are pretty even from here to here. That looks okay. We're going to give it a try. What do we have to lose? Right? We have nothing at all to lose. We are going to come back to this though. I want to make sure that glue is nice and dry before we start doing any more cutting, because I can feel my pencil is not, that it's soft under there, so we want to be careful. Go over that one more time. And we'll come back to it. It'll be okay. I'm going to put a sticky note on it just so that I don't forget to come back to it, because it would be hard to ignore that, but I'm going to put a sticky note there. So we're going to turn her over and we're going to do this side. This is the trickier side. So these are the pieces that are going to go on here. Like, look at these images. Are they just like spectacular? I love them. So this one's supposed to go on the back. So let's go ahead and do that. Let me make sure that it looks like we're good in our measurements there. This side, I just thought these would be fun and decorative. Like, I might put like a little pocket on them or something just to make them useful, because right now they're just a little flippy floppy. I'm calling it 3+. This is the 3+ front. So guys, when you're doing this, you know, do what helps you to work most efficiently and accurately. Even if that's not what other people do, it's not a big deal. I do what helps me to be successful. So there we go. It seems a little bit big for some reason, but we're going to look at the other side in a moment. Yeah, there's a little bit of a hangover, so that is okay. Let's just fix her now. I knew that there would be imperfections. It's really hard to cut all these papers. It took me a long time. Really long time. There we go. Okie dokie. So that's that. And so we're going to do the hard part, which is getting these pieces in because they have to tuck in here. So this is our one that, oh, I think that was backwards. Doggone it. I wanted this one, I think, on the outside, but that's all right. So what I did with this is I just cut this little notch so that this can slide in and still, that paper can still cover the inside of that pocket. So I'm going to go ahead and obviously put the glue on the paper. I'm going to go a little bit lighter on my glue. So let's get this in here. I'm going to try to slide it in and be quick about it. So I'm kind of lifting that up with my pinky on my left hand. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but that worked fabuloso. I wish I had caught that though. Darn it. I probably just wrote on them wrong or read it wrong or something. So let's go ahead and do this one. This is this piece, which was tricky because look at that little notch that I had to cut out to go below this. I wanted to make sure that we had really good coverage there. So again, I'm going to put it on the paper, and this time I'm going to put this on my desk because I don't want to get any extra glue anywhere. Over here, this is one of my favorite prints in the kit. It's gorgeous. For some reason I don't have that inked, but we can ink that later when everything is nice and dry. So I'm going to be very quick because I want to make sure I get it around that notch correctly and straight-ish. So does that look good, Cara-Renee? I think that's pretty good. So this is a lot of work, but they always turn out so beautiful. So we've got some overhang there. So what is that about? I guess we don't need that because it ends there. So let me just snip that off. And I will do any other cleaning up of in uneven edges later. I don't want to keep stalling us out for that. So that's just the initial clipping there that was important. And then let's get this one on. So this is panel 3, which is this one, inside panel 3. Oh, my notes. I love my notes. But look at the little sketchy image there. Isn't that so pretty? Love it. My Porch Prints. I have so many of their digitals. Like, they were the first ones I bought. I've explored other people because, you know, I have different tastes and different things I like, but they are wonderful. If you don't know who they are, check them out. I'm sure that most people do, though. They do very well. I think they have over like 320 something thousand sales on their Etsy shop, which is pretty incredible. So again, I'm going to be quick about this because I don't have a lot of time to slide this in and move it. So I'm going to get that in there. Excuse me. Oh, we've got some problem there. We're going to have to look at that edge. I'll show you what I mean here in a second. We've got this edge here that's catching. It's kind of rolling here. I don't know if it's because it doesn't have enough glue. It doesn't look like it should be making contact. So let me just get a little bit more glue in there and see if that solves the problem or not. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. We can fix it later. But that worked out really well too. I love it. Okay, one more panel and then we can start doing the easier stuff. So this one is going to go like this inside. And I think I did that just because I didn't want to fuss with trying to cut around like the inside of that. And I thought, what harm is it going to do? Except it feels like it's a little tall. So I am going to trim it a little bit here on the bottom. Hopefully, let me look at that one more time. I don't want to mess it up. Nope, we can't trim it because it's lined up. It's lined up to that level, like to that curve. I think we're going to be okay. If I have to take a little off the top, we will. So I'm going to put it right here because I need it closer. This is big. This is big. I'm most concerned about that being even, so I feel good about that. We probably have some trimming to do on the top. I think this gnome is kind of weird though. I don't like gnomes though. I find no appeal in them whatsoever. So, oh, not too bad. Look at that. I will clean this up. Well, let's go ahead and clean it up now. We're here. That turned out really pretty, didn't it? And I love that these are opposing because they're the same paper, and I think that looks really great. Okay, so let's go ahead and get some pocket stuff on here. So these are the back pockets. So these are some pockets. So this is some of the ephemera that I'm putting in. I may add more later, but for now, oh yeah, and I put where they were going to go inside pocket 3. So where are my, oh, these are my pockets. Okay, so this is inside pocket 4, so that's this one right here, I believe. I'm going to put them all down just to make sure, and then I believe this one went here. Yep, and then this one went here, and this one went here, so we're good. Okay, let's start with this middle one. Actually, I wish I could get some. Let's try and see if we can get some ink on there really quick, because I think once we start really getting this embellished up, it's going to be harder to get the ink in there. That's perfect. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this baby on. I'm going to put it right on the file folder base. I love this image. Love it. Love this whole kit. I'm going to have such a blast making this for my granddaughter. I hope she likes it. I usually make her something for her birthday. I usually make her like a mixed media canvas, or I've done mixed media boxes for her and stuff that have like secret hiding places and whatnot in them. She still has all of it, but I thought this is like, she's ready for this, I think. So we're going to put this one here. This is pocket 2. so glad I marked everything, because otherwise I'd be really waffling right now, being all over the place with you guys. So just a side note, if you guys want to hear the story about, so I shared how I was preparing for meeting my mom after 29 years on my Sunday's Art of Truth that posts tomorrow. Today is Saturday, January the 28th, and the Sunday's Art of Truth is a mixed media art journal spread, and in that blog I talk about my struggle a little bit over seeing her and how I was working through that. I mean, not in detail, just kind of, it's titled The Dog-Eared Pages of Our Lives, because it's just what made sense to me as I was struggling with my emotions, and as well as what I don't remember and what I do remember from being a child, and that kind of thing. So, and then next week on the first Sunday in February, you'll be hearing a little bit more about how the meeting went. Not details, because I don't share details, but I do share lessons and truth about different experiences that I have as I go through my journey. And as I create, my creative time is all about healing arts and that kind of thing. So anyway, if you're interested, you can check that out. Anyway, it's pretty cool, pretty darn cool. At the end, we shared a giant chocolate fudge brownie whipped cream caramel dessert, and it was. And I looked at it and I'm like, that's Sunday's Art of Truth for next Sunday. I feel the inspiration already coming on. So that's just how I think. So I think it's lovely. Okay, so it looks like that fixed that issue. We don't have any more rolling there, so there probably just wasn't enough glue. And I really kind of wanted to have these have a thumb notch or something, but because everything's so tight, because this is a file folder, I thought we'll just leave it. I also am thinking about this pocket's going to be glued on this side, so let's go ahead and do that, and I'll show you what we're gonna put in. So we'll glue our pockets first. I'm gonna try to do a really thin bead here, and if I go outside, that would be okay, like that. And then I'm just going to press that down. And then I like to stick my ruler in there. I've got a metal short ruler, and that just allows me to get that space, that landscape that's taken up by glue, to kind of push it out and still maintain where it's actually needing to hold the pot. Whoop, not that way, Cara-Renee. God, goodness gracious. Let's let that sit a bit. Because you can get this in here, and even when it's dry, and you can kind of go like this and open that up a little bit without harming anything. But I'm debating on whether or not I want to. I don't think I need to glue that right there, because this is going to be tight and I don't think it's important. So that's that. And so let's see what we have in these pockets, and then we'll go to the front. So this is supposed to go inside pocket 1. So it's just a little booklet from the My Porch Prints kit. I thought we would stick in there like that. And then this one is, I didn't write on this one. Process of elimination, I guess. Pocket 4. So this one is supposed to go in here. Look at that. Cutie patootie. Oh, we need to glue this one. So how are we going to do this? Hold the fort. So, because we've got, that didn't get covered. That is a problem. I'm going to have to fix that. I will not make you go through that, guys. All I will do is I'll cut another piece of paper and just stick it under there so that we have that covered, so it's not raw. I think originally I talked about maybe just cutting that whole thing off. You know what? I don't think I can do that successfully, though, and straight because of the angle. So I'm just going to cover it with some paper. So we do need to, well, so I will wait to close that pocket until that point too, just to make sure everything is okay. So that's going to go in there. And again, I cut the cards, I chose the cards based on my glue line. So this is going to have a glue line, so this is going to have to butt right up there, and then I'm going to have to go really narrow on my glue. That's going to go there. And then it looks like, oh, there's another one. Sorry. Pocket 3. So this one goes in here. That's so cute. And again, I'm not going to glue those. I don't think we need to. And isn't this beautiful? Love this image. Love it, love it. So that's going to go in there. And I think we are done. I think we are done. So what it's going to do is, oh no, we've got our other pockets on the back. This is going to be interesting because, oh, it goes like this. It goes like this. So that's what it's going to look like. So we definitely need to cover that up. So I'll probably cover it up with something a little bit more festive like the red. But that's what it looks like opening up. There's all your pockets. We're going to flip her over. And the only thing I'm doing on this side is we are going to cut this. And then I'm going to put 2 pockets. So I'm hoping that, oh, but this was supposed to be a pocket. And now it's not. Now it's not. Okay. And it looks like this isn't going to matter because I'm going to cover it up, which is fine. I was worried about the direction of that. Oh my. It was hard to keep track of which pieces as I was picking the ephemera to go in, which pieces what paper was going to go on each of the panels. So I just did my best. There we go. So we are going to cut our little wavy line, and then we're going to see if we can make this pocket work still. So where there's a will, there's a way, right? So that's that. So fingers crossed, you guys. This is going to be tricky. Oh, I can fold it all to itself, so it might not be too hard, but it's going to be hard because it's I'm going through 2 pieces of paper and a file folder. So if it is imperfect, I am going to embrace that big time. So we're not actually taking much off, but we are just creating an interesting edge, which I think is fun. And I'll erase any lines that don't that show up, pencil lines. Nora, is that her name now? Nora, she just did like kind of like those cloud shapes, you know, wavy lines, cloud shapes. So it was really cool to watch her because she wasn't fussing, and she was just teaching us how to do it, which I think was really awesome. You know, and just reminding us that, you know, yours is not going to look like mine is not going to look like yours. You don't have to worry about being perfect. You know, art is not about perfection. Art is about play, and it is about learning, and it is about you know, finding your own style and all of those things. So if we're trying to emulate someone else, are we really going to figure out who we are as a creator? I love that. That turned out so cool. I'm hoping that I can get this pocket to work. So let's see what kind of magic we can make happen. I think we can turn this back over. I am so pleased. I was a little concerned about this project, to be honest. So that is that. I don't even think I need to erase any pencil lines because I just went over that with ink. So we're probably good there. Awesome. So let's see if we can make this pocket work on here. I think we could by gluing it on and then cutting around the shape of those waves, which I think is what we're going to do. But it means I'm going to have to glue it here and here so I can have it be in place. So here and the bottom and not the side right now. So let's do that. You know, the worst that's going to happen is it's not going to work. You know, and if I were to ruin my paper somehow, I would just put another piece of paper on top of that. I'm not going to worry about it. So that's that. I'm going to have glue go over here, so I need to get something to slide in there so I don't get any glue on the other page. Pardon me, guys, like that. That's what I was trying to get at. It's going to be a narrow pocket, but I think it's going to be cute. I think it'll be good. So there's that. Just going to press that down, and I need to move that down a little bit. There we go. So we're going to go ahead and cut the wavy line again. But this time we're going to cut it with that pocket on it, because I really want to use that pocket, you know. Hopefully I can do this from this angle. It's tricky. I think this worked really, really well. The pocket will be wonky. My granddaughter is just the sweetest thing ever, but she is her own person. She has her own style. When she was little, she was a little wonky. You know, she was very, I mean, from the time she was a little girl, she was really comfortable with who she was and wasn't bothered by things. She just wasn't bothered. And so she would, when she would dress herself, she always looked kind of a little lopsided and messy, and so this is actually fun, and I think it fits her really well. So we're gonna embrace that. She'll get a kick out of it. So I'm just putting a bead of glue there, and I'm getting glue everywhere underneath. So I'm just gonna press that down, and I'm gonna stick my ruler in here because I want to make sure that I don't lose that landscape. We've got a very little pocket here, very narrow, so bear with me a second, guys. I've got my keyboard. I didn't move my keyboard, and I should have, so I'm limited in my space in front of me. So I'm just opening that up a little bit, just to make sure that we're not losing too much of that inside space. And we're going to go ahead and ink that again, and we are done. So isn't that fantastic? So this one goes in here. So we'll have to find a, right? Yeah. Uh-oh, what's catching? Something is catching. Let's check this out. Yep, we've got some overhang here. So let's, this is coming up. We're going to have to enforce that. I will do that off camera. I wasn't going to do that. I was going to get my scissors, and I don't know if you guys can see that. Right here we've got a little bit of an overhang, so that's what's catching there. So we're just going to go ahead and snip that off. Easy peasy. And then let me just go ahead and stick it in here. I don't know how I didn't get glue in there correctly. Seriously? It's like that whole length of that thing was not glued. That's crazy. Okay. So another look at what it looks like. So when we started, we had a file folder that we folded the bottom up to create this pocket that went the whole length of the file folder. And then we folded this side in, and then we folded this side in, and then we turned it. And that's how we get, boy, we're really binding there. Goodness gracious. I'm not sure what's catching there. It might just mean that it needs to dry a little bit better, but that's what she looks like. And so that's our front. So that is it, my friends. I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.